Sadhvi Jaya Bharti, the Prime Minister, meditating, having only coconut water, grape juice, Surya Namaskar in the morning, Arghya to Surya Dev in the morning, and Ekant and Dhyan. Explain the spiritual significance, ma'am.
Gaurav, I have few points to make since you asked me the question of explaining the spiritual significance. What his routine and whatever you explained, they very clearly tell that he's in a complete yogic practice as of now. We can say in a 360-degree yogic practice. When you say he's doing all his, even you can see all the branches of Ashtanga Yoga he's right now practicing. You say he's doing dhyan, he's doing his pratyahar. When you say he's on liquid diet, he's not speaking to anyone. Control of what you're listening, what you're talking is a part of pratyahara. He's doing asana, he's doing pranayam, he's doing dhyan, he's on a liquid diet. So this is actually, you see, because for last 2 months he was on a grueling campaign, and a lot of interaction, lot of thoughts, lot of mental and physical activity was going on. And he's definitely on a sabbatical for 2 days. And I see that Prime Minister Modi definitely, for his inspiration, for his energy, has always taken an inward journey, which, and I feel it's very significant as a civilization, because I remember that it's for the very first time ever since he's become the Prime Minister that Indian people are seeing, such a pride and, Indian leader, very, no matter what people call him names for doing whatever, he does it. What he believes in, he practices it, irrespective of what people think about it. And, we've seen an onslaught on I'm not talking about per se Hindu here, but what the Indian civilization, the Bharatiya civilization, in this continent we have been talking.
I'll come to the Bharatiya civilization and the connect with Swami Vivekananda in just a moment. But you're saying that this is dhyan, pratyahar, samadhi. In a way, he's meditating before he rises once again, as many argue.
Also, as a part of, because in Indian thing, it's it's not only a physical detox. We always talk about a mental detox, because when your body and your mind is detoxified, your soul takes over your existence. It's actually giving that energy that you need. A lot of people have different ways. We see a lot of people going for tours and vacations. I've never seen him doing that. Whenever he gets time, he does it for, he goes into meditation, he goes into dhyan, he goes into pilgrimage. And it is very inspiring that we have such a leader, and who does it very unapologetically.
So while Prime Minister remains in dhyanam or dhyan, the political arena is actually exploding. The opposition India bloc has criticized Prime Minister Narendra Modi's meditation, branding it a calculated electoral exercise aimed at swaying voters in the last phase of polling. The BJP hit back at the opposition for undermining the Prime Minister's spiritual journey. Let me bring in both Rashid Kidwai and Rahul Ishwar to respond to this before we talk about Swami Vivekananda and the impact. But just the Prime Minister for a moment, Rahul Ishwar, how do you see this sadhana of the Prime Minister? Because those close to him say that after every election he does that. In 2014, he went to the Pratapgarh fort of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, immense significance. After 2019, he went to Kedarnath Dham. And after 2024, he's come to Kanniyakumari. Rahul Ishwar.
130 years back, a young Bengali who was hardly 28 or 29 came to the great land of Tamil Nadu and reimagined India as we know it. We all know that 1893 speech of Swami Vivekananda reimagined India in a great way, and this is a place of great significance. This is a place of North-South connect, invoking the great legacy we have. And as a proud Hindu, I'm happy that my Prime Minister is promoting that angle of Indian culture, which should be celebrated in a big way. Yes, there may be political subtext, there may be political debate. Those are secondary. See, when Narendra Modi ji goes to Lakshadweep, he rightly points out the importance of tourism. He's coming to Kanyakumari will really, as a South Indian, makes me happy and more pride given to me, because a lot of attraction will be coming to our heritage. And second, he is not a Chunavi Hindu. He always wears his dharma up his sleeve, and he rightfully takes spiritual solace in such things. This is not the
Okay.
first time he is coming. He has come to many times, and in Kerala too, he has come to Guruvayur, he has come to other temples. So he is a person who is proud of
I
his
didn't
dharma,
understand the
his culture.
Chunavi Hindu. What is Chunavi
No,
Hindu,
no,
sir?
no. He is not a Chunavi Hindu. Unlike, I
Yes.
don't want to, I don't want to name others. He is not a Chunavi
Yes.
Hindu who goes to
Right.
temples during election times. That is very
Right.
unfortunate. There are many people who do that, but Modi ji is a genuine bhakt. He is a genuine bhakt, and he really does these things out of a spiritual conviction. Yes, it has cultural connotation, political connotation, but he doesn't do it for elections. He do it out of a genuine sense of respect for India's culture. He is a bhakt. He is a devotee. He is not the
Okay.
person who will say, I'm an
Let me
atheist.
get
That's what
Rashid
Vikas Shah.
Kidwai also to give us a perspective on this. Rashid Kidwai, Rahul Ishwar believes Prime Minister Narendra Modi, as he says, is not a Chunavi Hindu, who's not visiting temples or these places only because of elections. He's doing it because he's a bhakt. Why is the opposition having a meltdown if both Rahul Ishwar or people like Rahul Ishwar and Sadhvi say that Hindus are so happy?
I think, Gaurav, it has to do with that timing of it. The elections are going on. Last phase is there. Prime Minister's own election is there, and it's not about meditation. Prime Minister is within his rights to be doing so as a citizen, as a follower of a faith. But the kind of televised coverage, now you cannot curb the televised coverage in a vibrant democracy. It is not for election commission to enforce this kind of code of conduct where it is for the person concerned. So if Prime Minister wanted to have this kind of spell of spirituality and be there, he could have stopped or debarred, and that is where the opposition senses that there is some kind of overt political messaging that is taking place. Now, Gaurav, we must remember that religion or mixing of religion in politics has been very kind of problematic formulation in India, and all political parties are guilty of doing that. My friend Rahul Ishwar was referring to, Chunavi Hindu. This is a kind of charge that everyone faced. You remember even Mahatma Gandhi, when he was leading the freedom struggle, there was a lot of criticism, and criticism even from his own party people. Jawaharlal Nehru several times questioned, what is this inner voice that Mahatma Gandhi keeps talking about? Then Rajiv Gandhi, cut to Rajiv Gandhi. Rajiv Gandhi started 1989 political campaign from Saryu River and promising Ram Rajya. And at that time, I remember as a reporter, BJP was very critical of Rajiv Gandhi trying to use or misuse
Okay.
religion. So it's always been that. When Rahul Gandhi went on temple hopping during Gujarat elections, he was dubbed as a Chunavi Hindu or a Janivdhari Hindu. Congress also did try. The Congress always has this kind of religious outreach program. They were
Okay.
not very successful. So, but we cannot be partisan. We cannot be saying that Prime Minister is doing entirely for his spiritual well-being. The timing of it is a clear giveaway, and the coverage.
You're saying that timing is suspect, especially when there's the last phase of polling, not just in Uttar Pradesh but also in Bengal. As far as the buzz on ground and where Akshata Nandgopal is, and India Today is getting you a 360-degree perspective. Akshata, you've spoken to a cross-section of people. How are they reacting? People in Tamil Nadu, people in Kanniyakumari, both the locals and the tourists.
Well, Gaurav, yes, there's a lot of politics playing out. We saw that in the kind of reactions coming in. Here in Tamil Nadu, as far as political messaging is concerned, look, the elections were long over in Tamil Nadu, and yet the Prime Minister has chosen to come here. And he's often spoken very publicly about his love for Tamil culture, his love for Tamil tradition, has spoken about some of these tourist sites in Tamil Nadu and ensuring that they get enough attention as well. So that's perhaps why also he decided to come here to the state of Tamil Nadu. And I was speaking to the locals here. They are hopeful, and they're saying that, and we saw that yesterday as well, when the Prime Minister reached here meters away, and considering that, there was no roadshow planned or any of that, meters away you had huge crowds that had gathered all just to catch a glimpse of the Prime Minister. And the locals are hoping that with the Prime Minister's visit to Kanniyakumari, it's going to give a boost to tourism, much like what happened in Lakshadweep. They're counting on the fact that with the nation's focus right now on those two pieces of land behind me on the Vivekananda Rock and the Thiruvalluvar statue. The beauty of Kanniyakumari also comes to the fore. So locals are hoping that it gives a boost to their business. As far as tourists go here, look, they did have a hard time yesterday. I'm not going to deny it because there were huge security measures put in place. So even for us as media crew, it was virtually impossible for us to stand and stay put in one place. As far as tourists were concerned, they could barely step out of their hotel room, and then there were advisories put forth that the Prime Minister is here, so you cannot click pictures. Today, however, things have eased down. You even had people going up to the Vivekananda Rock earlier today. Tourists were allowed to go up to the memorial without their cameras, without their phones, to ensure that there was no breach of security. But despite the Prime Minister being there, they were allowed there because clearly the messaging was that, nothing should hit noble life and tourists should be allowed to go about with their sightseeing activities. Political messaging really in Tamil Nadu, it's clear. There were no elections. The BJP and the Prime Minister has chosen this particular location because of his deep connect with Swami Vivekananda. Also about Thiruvalluvar, the very famous Tamil poet, and the Prime Minister's repeatedly spoken about his, admiration for Thiruvalluvar and the poems that he wrote, referred to as the Tirukural. The Prime Minister has often spoken about that, and that's going to be a large political messaging here in Tamil Nadu, that Prime Minister Modi recognizes some of the biggest icons here in Tamil Nadu as well.
You're absolutely right, Akshita. Stay with me. Rashid Kidwai, before I bring in our other guests, the opposition had the same opportunity. Opposition leaders, India bloc leaders could have done exactly the same. The Prime Minister has done this after 2014 elections. He's been to Kedarnath after the 2019 elections. And he's come to Kanniyakumari after the 2024 elections. The opposition could have done the same or something else. If the Prime Minister took the initiative, why is the opposition crying or seeing red over this, sir?
Yeah, so Gaurav, you're right. The opposition has double standards, and this goes without saying, and it is very much evident. But by that same yardstick, you cannot absolve Prime Minister, because here Narendra Modi ji is not doing it in his personal capacity. He is a Prime Minister of India. He is a Karm Yogi, and he is doing it. So there is a very clear message. The fact that we are debating, had it not been election season, the level of discussion would have been slightly different. So what I'm saying is the BJP's or the the BJP sympathizers trying to give a spin that this is the Prime Minister's spiritual journey and this is part of his core belief and all. I find that a little rich because of timing of it. The Prime Minister knows the elections
No,
are
but
going on.
is Swami Vivekananda and taking forward the teachings, before I bring in other guests once again, Swami Vivekananda's teachings, his philosophy, the Prime Minister has been inspired by him from his childhood.
Exactly.
As Chief Minister of Gujarat, I want to bring in Sadhvi Jaya Bharti. As Chief Minister of Gujarat, he took those teachings forward. As Prime Minister of this country, in fact, you'd recall when he filed his nomination as candidate from Varanasi the first time, he carried a small statue or idol of Swami Vivekananda with him. And what is wrong when the Prime Minister says, Sadhvi Jaya Bharti, Swami Vivekananda reminded the world of India's rich past and immense potential. He taught the world Vedic philosophy. Indian thought and philosophy got its rightful place. Now, that is something everybody should be proud of. If the Prime Minister is taking it forward, you think there's an ulterior motive with the opposition crying foul?
No, I think if anything opposition has to accuse of, it's you, Gaurav, because you took all the cameras, and I would also perceive it if there were no cameras, the opposition might have blamed that who knows what he's doing inside, he might be just reveling. Or if the cameras are there, then it's a campaign. So either way, he's damned if he does and he's damned if he doesn't. So for that day, I know, because he's a political person and definitely the opposition will take a political dig at it. Keeping that aside, I would like to say about it is that his connection with the teachings of Swami Vivekananda and Ramakrishna Mission is like, it's for the world. It's all out there. He one point in time, it's recorded that he wanted to take a sannyasi life, and he in the Rajkot center of the Matha. However, he was said that, he expressed his desire for the monastic life, and then Swami Atmastanananda, he told him, that he has to do other work. But he is deeply inspired by Swami Vivekananda. And one thing I see about um, Swami, Mr. Modi is that he doesn't shy away from practicing his faith. Whether you look at G20, whether and he takes pride and he takes a lot of effort in promoting the Indian culture, its spiritual legacy, its pilgrimage sites. Whether we are right now, if you look at before Ram Mandir, after Ram Mandir, all his visits, they always had a significance when it comes to putting the India's spiritual religious heritage on the center stage of the world. Today we are all talking his
Interesting you should say that. Let me take that to Rahul Ishwar, before I bring in Rashid Kidwai once again. Rahul Ishwar, when the opposition says that this is only for television cameras, it's only to influence elections in Uttar Pradesh and Bengal. You mentioned Swami Vivekanand and the Prime Minister and Swami Vivekanand in his earlier avatar, Swami Vivekanand share the common first name, Narendra. But is this to influence elections in Bengal, or is there something deeply, deeply spiritual in terms of the Prime Minister being influenced by Swami Vivekanand's philosophy and teachings right from his childhood?
Gauravji, back in 2008, Modi ji has written a book called Jyoti Punj, in which he has mentioned 16 people who has influenced him, starting from Shankaracharya, Swami Vivekananda, Mahatma Gandhi, Guruji Golwalkar. Modi ji has always been this dharmic person. Second, don't we see the beautiful synergy between spirituality, nation building, branding, political subtext? He is fusing all these. Mahatma Gandhi used to do this in a very good way. Like Rashidji earlier said, Mahatma Gandhi was the first pan-Indian person who said, I want Ramarajya. He used to balance it with Hindu-Muslim question coming together. So any nation, Swami Vivekananda rightly says, any nation has a central character. In India, it is spirituality. That spirituality is the raw nerve which will give us salvation and also give us social cohesion. So Modi ji is giving out a message of unity. And as a South Indian beyond politics, I'm overjoyed and I'm proud about it. 2 days back, I was in Kanniyakumari. It is so close to my home. And we feel pride that, the Prime Minister of the nation is coming to our place to meditate. So this sense of joining North and South, this sense of enjoying Indian culture and civilization is something absolutely wonderful. I believe everyone should do that. Sri Rahul Gandhi should come. He either should go to Rajghat or Belur Math. And like Gauravji rightly pointed out, why is the opposition missing the opportunity? See, you are unnecessarily trying to, you are crying wolf with Modi ji because he's doing something positive. So do the positive politics, go to another place, meditate, go to Rajghat, go to any other place. But rather than doing any of the positive things, they are simply crying criticism. And one last line, Vivekananda is one of the makers of modern world. Even foreign thinkers like A.L. Basham has rightly called him one of the molders of the 20th century. We need to be invoked about such pride, and our Prime Minister is doing it wonderfully. Pranam for that.
Okay. Rashid Kidwai, Swami Vivekananda spoke of spiritual nationalism. 3 days and 3 nights when he meditated there, Swami Vivekananda says, or it's written that he spoke of his vision of Bharat Mata. If the Prime Minister during his meditation speaks of his vision of a Viksit Bharat, is that not a positive agenda? And is the opposition, and very frankly, sir, is there a difference from the negativity that you see, criticize everything, to the positivity that the BJP says the Prime Minister brings is spiritual nationalism of Swami Vivekananda, taking it forward in the 21st century?
Gaurav, we must understand few things. Swami Vivekananda, has a special place in the hearts and minds of millions and millions of perhaps every Indian. We also have a political system where there is lot of diversities there. Here in Tamil Nadu, when we talk about accord so much importance to faith, we also remember that at one point of time and for a large number of years, actually DMK, which is in power today, also remain atheist, very anti-God. And there is Periyar and all that. A lot of icons are there who spoke very negatively about God and faith, and all these things have coexisted. I, as a independent biographer of Sonia Gandhi, I am aware that Sonia Gandhi is has regularly visited Ramakrishna Mission, and she has gone to Belur Math. She's deeply influenced by that. It's just that perhaps she's not flaunting it. That is her view. What I'm saying is, if Mahatma Gandhi was, came under questioning for using, religion and religious symbols, so Mr. Narendra Modi cannot, take the place of Swami Vivekananda. He will remain Narendra Modi, Swami Vivekananda will remain Swami Vivekananda. We must understand this basic
But
distinction.
at least he's taking that spiritual nationalism or those teachings forward, including when you talk about Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat, many have a problem. Even with Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat, many have a problem with Swami Vivekananda's teachings of... Oh, you think nobody has a problem with
I don't
Ek
think so.
Bharat?
I've written a book.
There are political leaders who've said South should be a separate country, sir. How does that become Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat then?
A lot of things have been said. I can also quote a lot of these things, old statements of the BJP, which I am not going to do because this is not a kind of thing, tutu meme or a political debate. Point I'm saying is that every prime minister of this country, I've written a book also on 14 prime ministers, they were extremely committed towards, the progress and growth of a nation, whether it was in terms of economy or the spiritual growth, etc. So we cannot say that, so and so. And Mr. Modi is doing a wonderful job. Let's not, for a moment, I would say that what Mr. Modi is doing wrong. What I'm saying is the timing of it, and because elections are going on, because the opposition has a whole legacy of, a kind of double standard, and their own icons were criticized when they tried to use religious symbols or, religious instances, as I gave you example
actually
of...
selectively criticized, because when Mahatma Gandhi spoke of the Khilafat movement, there was no criticism, but when he spoke of Ram Rajya, there was criticism. So that's Rahul Ishwar very selective in criticism also in our country.
Just 1 minute.
Okay, Sadhvi ji. Yes.
Yeah, one thing I want to say here is we are criticizing Mr. Modi for something he should be praised for. We are saying he's got a bad timing, he's doing it to influence the next voting day. But let me ask people who have all the rationality in place, when would he have time? You're getting results on the 4th, right? The results are coming out on the 4th. Whatever may be the outcome, he's a political person, he'll be busy. That's all the time he has. And also I see is, the opposition has gone all the way out to, make it look like a political thing. Had they restrained themselves in objecting to it, it would have looked lesser the way it is looking now when they are trying to portray.
Fair enough. So, Rahul Ishwar ji, last 30 seconds on this part of the broadcast. But do you see this as a spiritual journey or a political journey?
It's a beautiful synergy of spirituality. It's a beautiful synergy of spirituality, social, nation building, cultural connect. See, it's the whole left liberal Nehruvian secularism, divorces these realities and they compartmentalize. That is not the way. Even Mahatma Gandhi was not a secularist. He was a pluralist. Modi ji is a pluralist in that sense, who wants sabka saath, sabka vikas, and he wants to join people. And who better icon than Vivekananda or Mahatma Gandhi to do it? Because Vivekananda is a very pluralist.
Or Jagat Guru Adi Shankaracharya, North and South coming together, and these are icons. These are icons of our country. Swami Vivekananda, Jagat Guru Adi Shankaracharya, and so many more. We will continue to track developments on the story very closely. To all my guests, many thanks for joining me. I want to leave you with 3 images that come from Kanniyakumari, iconic images of the Vivekananda Rock Memorial and the Prime Minister praying there.